What's up, everybody? So today we're going to learn how to make a caltrop, which is a spiked weapon used against cavalry and infantry back in the Middle Ages. It's essentially a spike where, when it lays on the ground, no matter how you toss it, there's a spike pointing up in the air. Now, this would go through a soldier's foot or a horse's hoof, and it was just meant to kind of slow down or stop incoming troops. So today we're going to learn how to make that. It doesn't take many materials, and it doesn't need a welder, though a welder would make it a little bit stronger. So the materials you'll need for this project are an angle grinder with a cutoff blade, a couple pairs of pliers, a marking tool such as a pencil or a marker, some JB Weld if you don't have a welder. This is kind of like a dry weld. It's a steel epoxy, so you can use whatever glue you have. Should work just fine. And then some fairly thick pieces of steel. Now, I'm using some extra pieces from another project, so this is a skill saw blade that I've cut up. So you could use a skill saw blade, or you could use really anything similar to that. So that's what you're going to need, so let's get started. So the first thing you're going to need to do is mark a triangle on the piece of metal that you're going to cut. So you're going to need two triangles, because these will form the two parts of your caltrop, which will then be put together. So this is a rather small one, but you can make this caltrop as big or small as you want. Size really doesn't matter on this one. Okay, so I'm going to mark a fairly wide triangle because that will give me the sharpest angles for my caltrop. So this is a bit too wide here, so I'm going to do not quite as wide as that. I'm just going to kind of mark it out here. Again, this doesn't have to be exact. That's what's the beauty of these things, is it's not an exact science. So I'm going to mark out a triangle like that, so you can see the triangle I've got there. We're going to cut those out. So now I got the first one cut out, so I'm going to lay that on top of my other one, just tracing it so that I have the exact same two pieces, which will make this project go a lot easier if your pieces are the same dimensions. Alright, so I got the second triangle, going to cut that out as well. Okay, so now I got two pieces that are pretty much the same size. So what you're going to do is you're going to lay one over the top of the other and see how much of this spike you want sticking out here. And then you're going to mark that, because that's how far you're going to want your groove to go. So I'm going to want this to be a pretty strong little caltrop, because this would be theoretically for tires or something like that. So I'm going to put about halfway in. I'm going to mark that across. So now you can see where I've got the groove across here. So now I'm just going to mark a line where I want to cut in with my grinder. Okay, so this line right here is where I'm going to cut with the grinder, and then that will fit in this one, and it'll sit just like that. Okay, so I've got the groove cut in this one. You can see it right there. So I'm going to do the same thing to the other one. Again, I'm just going to lay it on top and mark where I want to cut the groove so that it's the same spot. I'm going to mark that with my pencil. Alright, so now I got the line on this one, so I'm just going to cut that. Okay, so now I got the two pieces with the grooves cut in them, and the beauty of this is that they simply slide right into each other. So there I've got my caltrop, as you can see. So it's a pretty nice, pretty easy design. So you can see I just toss it on the ground here. No matter how I toss it, it's got a spike sticking up. This would be great against tires or something like that. But these pieces are just kind of slipped together right now, so if you want to secure these, now, the metal itself, the glue that you're going to use isn't actually going to be load-bearing or anything. It's just going to hold these pieces together. The pieces themselves are going to be the strong part. So you can weld these. You can just do a spot weld right here and here. That's what I'm going to do. But if you don't have a welder, you can use your JB Weld. So that's super simple process. I'll show you how to do that real quick. But that's pretty much it for this caltrop. So you can see, no matter how I toss it down, it's got a spike sticking up. It's a very, very simple design, very effective. So let's put some glue on there and show you the finished product. Alright, so as you can see, I've put the dry weld on it. So as you can see, no matter how I put this down, I have a spike sticking up. You can make these in about 10 minutes with your basic hand tools, and they're very effective. So there you go. That's how you make a caltrop out of some scrap metal. Like, comment, subscribe. Have a great day.